Hello, Kaiko here, and welcome to the chaos. Let's go.
3 more. There's one over here. There's one here. And there's one, I'm guessing it's that one? Yes. So we might as well do this one first, since it's kind of on the way, right? So let's start with that one. And then we'll sort of make our way out of the forest in reverse order. Yeah, this seems like it's going to be quite successful. Quite successful. And by that I mean these quests don't seem to be very long, so we might actually get to do the building quest as well. Which will be nice. Let's be giant. Which will make this a little bit easier. Orbs. Orbs. Orbs? Orbs? Why weren't you orbs? Why? I hate when it does this. Please. Oh. I don't know why it's not loading in properly. No! Can you just grab those orbs? There we go. Did you see? Momo said stop using me for target practice. Momo, I wasn't using you for target practice, I promise. I promise. Okay, who are you? I had to find the key evidence of this female titan's existence, but... Adventurer Nikki, if I told you that a brilliant female titan inventor once lived in Misty Forest, but every trace of her existence was erased, would you believe me? Of course. Of course I'd also believe she was nice and brave and used her creations to protect the forest. I'm just telling a fairy tale, I can't prove it just yet, but I'm so grateful you believe me. Besides this broken mechanical clock, what other evidence can I find to prove my theory? Nashi Shinovia, the female titan, really did exist in Misty Forest. We learned her story by a stroke of luck. Nikki Mo tell Tenovia the history of Misty Forest. No wonder this clock is different from any type of mechanical relics I've ever unearthed. It's been modified by power that carries the essence of the forest. I've scoured the historical records and found mention of this strategist, Nikos, who was an expert in this field. Yet, while serving the Titan King, his actual contributions never matched his reputation. He came to Misty Forest, where he once travelled to do some field research. That's when I discovered a female Titan had lived here first. Nikos actually came after. Nikos shamelessly stole Lady Ritalli's creations to take credit with the Titan King. In truth, he didn't understand the mysteries of nature at all. The way I see it, the clock powered by the forest could only be the work of Lady Ritalli. Pity the clock was sabotaged, its power has nearly faded now, but it's okay. With the information you've given me, I can find other relics, write a detailed paper, and make everyone know the truth. Wait, I want to try and fix it. Repairing this clock isn't just for history buffs. Every item Lady Ritalli left behind means the world to her children. You're right, I have a well-informed adventurer who might know how to fix Titan mechanics. I decided to try my luck with her after finding more evidence. Leave it to me then, I'm usually pretty lucky. Great, then that adventurer is usually around the edges of Misty Forest. She has a shrooming assistant who's quite hard to miss. I'll start off from the paper. I decided you'll be the first line of the acknowledgements. Nikki, no wait, I should make you the co-author. Okay. Nice. Anything else? Thank you for telling me the history of Misty Forest. I started drafting the paper. My son made the clock as key evidence. He found the adventurer around the entrance of Misty Forest. She's so well informed she might know how to fix the clock. Ooh, it's a pretty clock. Okay, where are we going? Let's go talk to this adventurer. Let's teleport over there. And see what we can find. Okay, here? It must be these two. Oh, Curioso! And a box game. Have we played that box game? Maybe. Curioso! Hello? What are you doing here? Big sister, the truly remarkable pink-haired girl, and Summer Moon Knight. I've missed you guys so much. How have you been? We're doing great. We're doing great, still on our adventure, trying to help as many kingdoms as we can. How about you, Shrimping Fairy? How have you been? I'm doing my best too. Grandma says once the forest is cleared, they'll head out again, and I think I'm also ready for my next chapter. Are there all sorts of stories beyond Misty Forest? Will there be a little blue Riding Hood or a bigger, badder wolf? I'm scared, but I'm dying to find out too. Adventures are my absolute favourite. Have you ever been? Come on, tell me everything. Not too bad. I'm doing okay, you know, a lot of stories leave out the time heroines found on the road, but even the greatest legends need to take a breather every now and then. Rest is super important, you can't skip it. I've been stopping by Grandma's a lot lately, sneaking yummy bread and sweet dreams. Grandma tells me the best bedtime stories. Red shoes, breaking the king's table, swans with flaming wings, sweeping the royal advisors into the air, and white snow bringing the villain to justice with the magic mirror as her witness. Adventures are my absolute favourite. Have you? Oh, that's it. We miss you too, but we've got a few things to take care of for now. I see, just like the heroine in the book, always knowing exactly where to go next. Goodbye, see you next time. Okay, he was not. Yoshi was not the solution. Oh, box game. I hope we haven't done this one before, because otherwise, I'm just doing this a little bit unnecessarily. It's always such a shame to have to click on the baby ones. But they could be problems too. Now how have we done that before? Oh no, we hadn't! Yes. Okay, let's see. We're supposed to be talking to this person. Have you noticed that Sabrini's Shroomling assistant has been sticking to like glue these past few days? Everybody's worried about her sneaking into Misty Forest for ingredients. Oh, so Sabrini's taking orders from a Shroomling now? Well, you know, her Shroomling assistant became so loyal and clingy after tasting her delicious soup. The assistant's afraid of her getting hurt. No one saw Sabrini trying to talk some sense into him, but he just muttered something like, "Can't live without you," before bawling his eyes out. Sabrini can't win. Ooh. And who are you? Sabrini's always standing on top of the vine. It's been days since she last made soup. I miss the taste of hot soup. She said she was doing some treetop reconnaissance, and that she'd go into Misty Forest to get all the ingredients she wanted once everyone's clear. That means we'll be sipping fresh soup soon, right? Also, I figure we'll be hearing lots of stories of what's going on in Misty Forest. We're at the top of the vines where the Shroomling is standing guard, where you should find that adventurer. Who are these guys? Unrelated quest. Okay, let's go this way. Up here? Ah. Up here? Oh, this vine. Okay. Interesting. How are we going to get up there? Oh, this will probably help. Just a little bit. Oh no! I clicked the button too soon. Nope. Okay. Gimme ingredients often grow in the most difficult places. Sorry, say dream about the ingredients in Misty Forest, so what brings you to Sabrini, the know-it-all of the adventurous team? Is there something you need to know? Once repair a mechanical clock left by the Titans, we're wondering if the world-travelling adventurer like you might know how to repair it. A regular clock, I'm no match for a clockmaker, but Titan relics, I think I heard a traveler mention a story about that over some soup. Let me have a look. Let rust become soil, let roots cover the scars, and time shall begin to germinate. Oh, I don't understand a word of that. Soil and roots, it's talking about plants. The Titan left the clock. Lady Ritalli was a pioneer in the field of horticultural. Wait, a Titan adventurer even I, the know-it-all, haven't heard of? It's a long story, but if we fix this clock, Lady Ritalli's legacy will spread across all of Mirrorland. In that case, I'd better think hard. I am a traveller who seems very knowledgeable about nature telling me something. It's an ancient text recorded lost Titan technology that uses plant growth to drive mechanical gears, where next the prophecy was the drawing of a mechanical clock. That means the clock was likely modified by Lady Ritalli to run on the life force of plants. Now the plants have withered, the clock has stopped. That means the fastest way to fix it is to feed it some nutrient-rich soup. As for the ingredients, I'll have to leave that to you. You see, my dear Shroomling assistant won't leave my side. He's terrified I'd run into Misty Forest for wild veggies and end up as monsters' dinner. Instead, at this rate, I'm going to run out of ingredients. a soup. Can you plant some nutritious soup? Exactly. Whether you're a plant or a person, you can't grow on an empty stomach. That's why the shrooming assistant is worried the monsters in the forest will feel the same way. Actually, there are no monsters in Misty Forest. The residents are plant beings who love stories. They'll probably love your soup. Besides, Nikki already took care of the biggest danger in Misty Forest, so don't worry about it. Wow, thank you, great adventurer. I'll tell my shrooming assistant the good news right away and try to convince him. Pretending a stubborn shrooming mind is no easy task. Nikki, we need wild daisies for soup. I'll leave that to you. But I have some wild daisies, so I'm just gonna give them to you. We don't need to get that from the forest. I already have that. Let me come join you. I need you to give me some soup. Adventurer Nikki, I'm still trying to talk my shrooming assistant into letting me forage in Misty Forest. How are things on your end? All done. Here you go. Shroom ingredients going to be simply added like this. Wow, smells good. Wow, now, where's that clock? It's time for it to take its medicine. Sleep flows into the dark clock's interior, nourishing the plants that have slept within it for so long. I can hear it. Tick tock, tick tock. The hands, they're starting to move. Look, a small note just popped up. Nikki, check it out. What does it say? Ritalli's letter. An obituary always arrives a step ahead, thus if we're burying your relics with my own hands, I still have ample time to ponder what kind of epitaph to carve for you. When we first met, you were a senior expert in mechanics. You handed a delicate mechanical clock to me, my bewildered self, and told me it's as broken as it can get, dismantle and study it however you like. Just as you said, it took it apart, and with my eyes lost their way within its complex internal structure. Unfortunately, I let you down until the day I returned to the graveyard, I never managed to wind up my own curiosity for mechanics. And the mainspring of the clock remained rusted, much like the deadlock of our final relationship. But I could never stop myself from writing to you. These letters will be buried with you. You'll read about how I raised plants and study seeds in the graveyard. Furthermore, shortly after learning of your passing on a night of bright moonlight, I suddenly heard the sound of a clock ticking. That clock I brought back to the graveyard had begun to move. Can you guess what was secretly helping it? A single seed that happened to fall inside the clockwork had sprouted amidst the dust. Its roots wrapped around the broken spring, and in an hourly cycle that channeled water to the tip of the sprout. The rhythm of life drove the gears, bringing the entire clock back to life. Like I be blessed by Sleeping Beauty's true lover's kiss. Couldn't help but join the legendary tale, playing the role of a fairy bestowing a blessing. I infused it with my own power and poured in a bit of moonlight. This way, the sprout would be protected and pruned on schedule, ensuring the living clock no longer required manual maintenance or calibration. This confirms the concept I've always held: the spirituality of nature is something mechanics can never simulate. And the best mentions of time is, of course, the breath of life. Next, I intend to apply this principle to create even smaller and more exquisite pocket watches. I've decided to walk the path of researching botanical creations at every crucial moment in life. In the future, I'll write it to you, my friend. You've already stepped out of time. Please wait a while on that side. My future self and I prepared many topics for our reunion. It seems the clock reborn through plants provided Lady Ritalli with some very important inspiration for her research. Once she thought she was an outcast, so she left the machine-obsessed Titan tribes and came to the graveyard to find company with the flowers and grass. Plants gave her the answer, and the world of nature accepted her. Later, she gave life to natural beings and gave them the warmest home. Lady Ritalli's friend would be happy to see that she found her own path. Yes, when they meet at the end of time, they will surely talk about how miraculous the birth of plant life is. The traces she left in this world are a miracle that can never be erased. Lady Ritalli, no wonder my soup tastes so salty all of a sudden. My tears fell into the bowl. Sabrina, thank you for helping us fix the clock. This is vital evidence of Lady Ritalli's existence and her invention. With this, Synovia, the archaeologist, can publish a paper, and all of Mirrorland will know the name of the Titan inventor who was once erased from history. That's wonderful. Then I, Sabrina the Know-It-All, will make sure every traveller who stops for soup hears of Lady Ritalli's deeds and marvels at her genius. Wait, the plants like the clock have just revived and are still quite fragile. I need to tell the archaeologist the secret to keeping them healthy. Leave it to me to return the relic. And don't forget to tell Synovia how hard Nikki worked to gather the materials and piece the story together. Nikki definitely deserves that co-author title. Of course, if you ever want fresh soup or fresh news, you've got to come find me again. Oh no, Trinity stream was back, but you spoke too soon. Well, that's not good. That's not good. I don't think I even actually mentioned the fact that you disappeared. My bad. I hope it fixes itself soon. But this is not looking good for you. Not looking good. Anyway, we've got 2 more of these. Is this the one we were doing? No, that's the one that's on the outside. Let's do this one. So I think we might have triggered this one earlier. Maybe? I wonder if it was some of the shroomlings and we went to Pottsville. Because that's the only thing I can think of. The one we would have started a quest. Anyway, let's go in. It's back! Yay! Oh, a pot! Use my vines to climb to the stump and investigate the pot. I do not remember what the pot is about, but that's okay. Yeah, I have no idea. I know that the shroomlings in Pottsville like to live in the pots because they have stories on them. In the end, the pink-haired girl conquered the difficulties in the path and found the treasure pot hidden on the massive stump. I'm going to name the story Nikki's Smart Pot Adventure. It's not just like the shroomlings described, it has vibrant drawings and neat, exquisite writing. Ritalli is truly amazing, making such exquisite pots and writing so many wonderful stories. If it weren't for the villain, Ritalli's achievements wouldn't have been so erased. At the very least, the pot she left behind will still protect the shroomlings, they live in her pot, and read her fairy tales. Her story will continue to live on in the forest. Exactly, everyone in the forest will always remember her. Let's head back to the Forest Story Club and look at the stories Ritalli wrote with the shroomlings. Ah, they must have told me that they had... I think they told us about some pots, and they said that they liked the pots, and it was so beautiful, and they wondered if there were more, and then we said, wait, did you say a Titan pot? Well, maybe that's made by Ritalli, given that Ritalli is known to have lived in the area. I clicked something. No, given that Ritalli is known to have lived in the area, and she likes to tell stories, so then we said, oh, maybe we'll go and find her, see if we can find any more of her pots, and I think that's what we just did. What's this? Nikki, look, there's something glowing on the ground. Could it be a ghost? Don't be scared, Memo, it looks more like a special kind of lamp oil. The light it gives off isn't cold, it actually feels warm. I think there's wind blowing through it. Glowing lamp oil? Nikki, there are footprints over there, they lead deeper into the forest. Maybe that's Marlene's footprints, or maybe the legendary luminous envoy's helping us. Anyway, Memo, let's go check it out. Okay, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be taking the pots. To Pottsville. I think it's to Pottsville. No, we're not going that way. We're going to the pot. Sorry, go on, please be careful. Oh, it's a jump scare! During this whole time, stay behind me for a moment. Okay, I don't know what that is. But it's a jump scare! We love jump scare. That means we're near Pottsville. Yeah, we're very near Pottsville. You know, we might as well go find Marlene once we're done with this, because there's only like 2 quests left, and that means we're basically done. Already. We're only at about the halfway point. Okay, let's talk to these guys. Hello! You've returned, you found the shards, but the stories on them aren't clear. Don't worry, we found a colourful starring pot. It has both pictures and words, maybe it'll be a good story. I'll tell the story. The pot starts just like every fairy tale, once upon a time. A princess dressed in finery woven of gold set out from the capital, bearing the mission of her kingdom's survival. She was sent towards a neighbouring land with lavish gifts and a white horse. Eventually she reached the border, a place where her light of authority could not reach. Night veiling her form and mist clouding the princess's eyes, her handmaid put her on her finery and posed as the noble princess. While the neighbouring prince danced with the handmaid, the true princess walked the wilderness in tattered robes. No one knew the dear herder once wore a magnificent crown. Whoa, the handmaid actually pretended to be the princess? What happens next? What happens? The pot stops there. As for the ending, I don't know either. This is a story club, why don't we complete the ending ourselves? I'll go. Maybe the ending is like this. Her shabby robes could not hide the princess's brilliance. One day, while out on the journey, the prince met the dear herder and brought her back to the castle. The princess's beauty exposed the handmaid's false identity, the villain was punished, and the princess and the prince lived happily ever after. This ending makes you feel empty. Nikki, have you thought of any other endings? Ritalli once wrote of a brave little Red Riding Hood and a grateful grey wolf. I think if I were her, the story might end like... If it were her, the story might end like this. Let's do a warm ending. Thus, the princess disguised as a deer herder set out under the cover of night, casting the old minister's sighs. Behind her, she ran towards the households that lay under the kingdom's rule. The old minister sighed. Horrible princess, the people of the neighbouring land expect to behold your nobility. Go and dance at the ball rather than letting commoners soil your robes. The princess shook her head. How can empty vanity compare to a crown woven of laughter? I should go and find dances of joy and tears of pain, places far beyond the glitter of a ballroom. The handmaid put on the finery to dance the empty dances in her palace. The princess put on her herding clothes, her footsteps light as dew. She would personally survey the land her mother ruled with her own eyes. The happiness she saw became seeds of responsibility, the tears she saw became the dew that nourished them. On the last day of the ball, she returned to the handmaid's side and put her finery back on. The handmaid listened to her stories, her smile shining brighter than jewels, not for the dance with the prince, but because she knew their kingdom would have a great monarch. I like this story. Listening to your ending makes me feel all warm inside too. I like it. I want to record this ending in the storybook. The fairy tales we connected the forest with Nikki. And let's call it Shrews Fairy Tales. Nikki's name must be written in big letters on the front. I'm going to think of a different ending too, and then I'll tell you the stories, Nikki. That's definitely a fairy tale I've heard before, but I don't remember like what it is. We've definitely heard it before. Oh, we got a wooden plank with the fairy tale on it. Oh, that's cute. Can we look at it? Where is it? Is it? No, that's decorations. Not here. Here. Once upon a time, there was a prosperous kingdom. Its princess grew up under her mother's guidance, wise like shining dewdrops and brave like a valiant sword. Whenever the cold passed, the princess would leave the capital in a gorgeous gold-woven dress and make for the neighbouring kingdom on a white horse with precious gifts in her hands and the king's duty on her shoulders. Alas, the ballroom was never as fragrant as the wheat fields during harvest. Alas, the regal dance was never as beautiful as the parade on city streets. But the old royal advisor would sigh and say, "Your princess! Your highness, the people of the neighbouring kingdom revere your elegance. Dance the dance in the ballroom, let not the commoners dirty your dress." Should time be wasted on such repetitive balls? How would a dance of false amity be more valuable than the feeling of a people? But the monarch refused to answer. "My dearest daughter, at this time there is naught I can say to your question. As a future ruler, you should follow your heart instead of your mother's answer." The princess shook her head. How could this vain splendour match up to her crown woven with joy and laughter? I should steer my sight away from the dazzling ballroom into dances of celebration and tears of pain. At the borders, where the old advisor's sighs couldn't reach, where the night veiled the figures and the fog obscured the eyes, a handmaid put on the princess's gorgeous dress to attend the useless ball, while the princess put on the handmaid's tattered robes to walk on the fields. With her own eyes, she inspected the land ruled by her mother. All the happiness she saw became seeds of responsibility, all the tears she saw became nourishing dew. On the last day of the ball, she returned to the handmaid before the clock struck midnight, switched back into her dress, and told the handmaid what she had seen. The handmaid listened and smiled a smile more dazzling than the gems on the princess's dress, not for having danced with a foreign prince, but for knowing their kingdom will be led by a great monarch. A fairy tale collected and finished by Nikki. Ah, I like it. Very cute. Oh, and this is this. Oh. This is the story. This is the little thing from Little Red Riding Hood. It says painted gift by Little Red Riding Hood. Mother loved fairy tales and collected countless ones, yet she was never satisfied with how those stories ended. Girls who refused to obey the king were often called mad, while women who rose up in resistance were branded witches and monsters for the cries they gave with all their strength. Mother always muttered, "Were these true that only two paths laid before the princess and so many other girls?" Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for showing me that there is a third option. Just as Mother began rewriting stories herself, carving her own new chapter onto those clay pots, you knocked over that bowl of soup and showed me that I do not have to obey, or stay trapped within these rules and restraints. When the labels of Mad Girl and Monster are stripped away, when Mad Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf fight side by side, I take your hand and at last I become myself again. Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's right. Became myself again. I remember what you told me, the forest grows wild, and so should we. I hope that in the next story, I will see you again. Ah! Okay, I think there's only one left, so let's just go do it. And then we should probably go rescue Marlene, since Marlene seems to be having some trouble. But yes, I do want to know what this mysterious lamp oil is, because that's very mysterious. Very spooky. This very spooky forest. Yes, let's go for that. Oh, it's those guys! Okay, well, who are you? Hello. Chikaga, my head's still kind of spinning. Same here, Chikaga. Oh, Chiagaga and Chagaga. When you think we'll feel better? I've been dizzy for a while now. I'm too scared to go back into Misty Forest. Huh? Did the dizziness start after you went to the forest? Yeah, we heard the thorns and mist were purified by you, Your Excellency, and the forest isn't dangerous anymore, so we wanted to take a look. But for some reason, as we wandered through the forest, our heads grew drowsy. The cycle may be over, but the thorns haven't fully faded yet, and the forest residents still need time to cleanse the last traces of my asthma. Treatments are close to nature, so you're probably more sensitive to contamination. That's why you feel unwell. Maybe waited a while before going back in? Oh, that explains it. I already feel less dizzy just hearing you say that. But if we can't explore Misty Forest yet, then the treasure map Chicago and I found in Titan's graveyard is useless. Treasure map? If there's a map, the treasure, and the treasure, I have to be there. Where did you find it? In the Titan's graveyard. Everything there is huge, but the map was tiny. I tucked under a rock. We could just barely hold it with our hands. Look. Could it have been left by Ritalli? Ritalli? I've never heard that name. Who is she? She was an incredible Titan inventor. The miasma in Elwood Forest is fading because of something she created. Nikki told the two Shroomlings Ritalli's story. I'm glad that this Titan's word is getting spread everywhere. She deserves it. Oh, Mother Shroom, such a great inventor, and we've never even heard her story. Then this treasure map must be a very, very precious legacy. We can't go into the forest right now. If we don't find out what the treasure is, I won't be able to sleep. If only we were as amazing as you, able to come and go freely. Then leave it to me. I'm curious to see what Ritalli left behind too. That's great. We'll wait for you here then. We won't even blink while we wait for you, Your Excellency. Okay. I want to go and see some stuff. Your Excellency, please be careful. We'll stay right here and wait for you. Okay, apparently it's near Pottsville, so let's go to Pottsville. Wait, do I have to... Oh, I probably have to actually, like, use the map and figure it out myself. Where's this map? It is here. That's Pottsville, and it's just kind of, like, up there above the fork. So I'm guessing that's about here? So let's go investigate. And if we teleport there, we can avoid the bit we're avoiding with the other quest. We don't have to worry about Marlene. Okay, this way. This way. Wait, did these guys say anything now? Hello. Nikki, I know of a new ending. Actually, the princess has a grand plan. She would travel by night, return to the kingdom ruled by the evil king, and go to her home. The villain struck down the kind monarch and donned the royal robes as a false king. He feared the princess's brilliance, so he sent her to the neighbouring kingdom in exchange for a fragile peace. But all was not lost. The handmaid disguised herself as a princess and helped the princess put on tattered robes. The princess covered up her ambition for vengeance by herding deer and disguised to blind the false king's eyes. The princess would set out to reclaim her throne and bring the true peace and happiness to her people. People would follow her because her brilliance could never be hidden. The handmaid brought time, allowing the princess to return to her kingdom with an army and become its true ruler. Under her rule, everyone lived happily ever after. I like this ending. It makes my heart thump like a drum. That's a good ending. I also suspect that might be the, like, true ending in a way. I forget what the actual true ending is, but it doesn't sound wrong. Anyway, we gotta go this way. Is there anything inside of this tree? Oh, there is something inside of this tree. Must be the place. Is that a flower growing clay pot? I mean, I just wanted to grab this. There's a chest in here. Okay. I mean, there's a book here. Red shoes. The new king of the distant realm decreed that all children must wear identical black shoes and black leather shoes for their coming of age ceremonies. There they were to listen devoutly as he recited his dogmas and sang hymns in his honor. One day, an unnamed girl and her brother stood before the king. Oh, this is the like not Essling with the red shoes on her head. Child, do you believe in all that I say? Can you sing the anthem that everyone knows? The king asked, following his cold routine. The words are pleasant to the ear, but they are the exact opposite of the fairy tales my mother told me, the girl replied. You forbid children from wearing vibrant colours and dancing freely. You command us to sit in silence and sing your praises. That goes against our very nature. The king grew angry, and his black robes billowed like storm clouds. The other child, trembling with fear, tugged the girl's sleeve, desperate for her to stop her rebellious talk. Rather than believing your words or accepting the lies you've thrust upon us, I would rather be a child who makes my mother proud, the girl persisted stubbornly. My mother will give me my coming-of-age gift, a pair of shimmering red shoes. More vivid than any flower. The king turned to her terrified brother. And you? Do you also refuse to submit to me? The poor boy shook his head, whispering urgently to the girl. Quickly, go find your gift. The king hesitated it away. Mother said you are the child who can resist injustice. I'm too obedient, so I place all my hope in you. The girl fled. In his rage, the king cursed her to dance forever, never stopping for a single moment. People often heard her crying out, my gift, my coming-of-age gift, even as she performed those frantic 4 steps. She never abandoned her cold, calculated search. Finally, she found them, the bright red dancing shoes, dyed with her mother's secret herbs. The moment she stepped into the shoes, the frantic curse movements ceased. Instead, the shoes provided her with inexhaustible power. The power to run, leap, and strike back. She sprinted in the depths of the forest, vaulting over thickets of thorns. And with a final decisive blow, she shattered the king's lies and brought an end to his tyranny. She pulled her kin from the nightmare, even never again would they recite a single line of dogma the king had fabricated. Ooh, mysterious. Anyway, we're supposed to be finding some mysterious thing somewhere over here. Oh, here! There's a letter inside. It looks like the start of a fairy tale, but where's the rest? Song of the Forest 1. Once upon a time in ancient forest, there was a mysterious legend. At the heart of the forest lived a talking tree. One day, a fairy learned this legend and burst into sorrowful tears. "Why are you crying?" asked his friends. The fairy said, "There's only one tree left in this forest that can talk. It has no other trees to talk with, sing with, and play with. How lonely must it be? We live in the same forest, can't we be friends?" The kind fairy decided to find this ancient tree. They set off in a neat line, stepping on fallen leaves and climbing over forgotten clay pots. Step by step, they bravely ventured deep into the forest. And what a big forest it was! It shrouded itself in thick fog that concealed all its trails. During the day, the fairies could tell the direction by listening to the birds. During the night, when the birds slept and the forest fell silent, the fairies were lost. "How about we all sing together?" a wise fairy suggested. "If we sing happily like the birds, our song will lead us to where we want to go." Now, when we remember Ritalli loved fairy tales, she must have left this for a reason. Sing happily like a little bird. Alright, I'll try singing and see if it leads us somewhere. Look, the pollen seems to be guiding us. Let's follow it. Ah, we must have sung a little song. And now we gotta go this way. Gotta go this way. Oh, this way. It's a little treasure hunt. I love a little treasure hunt. Little dirt mound. Could the treasure be inside? Nikki, let's dig it up. Dig it up. Nikki and Momo dug it open. We're gonna find part 2, right? Huh? Another clay pot? What's inside this one? There's a new letter inside. And so the fairies began to sing. Their song slipped into the fog like the wind and lit up the concealed trails like lampoons. On and on the fairies sang and walked until something amazing happened. They had a gentle response in the distance. It was a voice far deeper and older than theirs, seemingly coming from the sky and the earth. Every leaf and dewdrop resonated with it. The voice sang and its melody guided the little fairies, who couldn't help but follow out of the fog to a silvery lake. But the voice didn't stop. It came from a higher place, drawing the fairies to look up. At the centre of the lake lay a giant vine. The vine extended into the sky, stable like a green glowing bridge. One by one, the fairies climbed up, careful without fear. But the vine felt strong and soft. They kept climbing higher and higher until they could touch the low-hanging clouds. Then the fairies finally realised. And then what? What did the fairies discover? Don't rush, we're going to the last clue to find out what happens next. We have to climb this vine ourselves. The story says a giant vine grows by the lake. Momo, let's look for it. Okay, so let's... Ooh, a vine. What's attacking me? Ah! We found it, let's climb up. But first, we gotta get rid of these guys. There are so many of them. There we go. Okay, is this thing gonna attack me or is this a real one? This one might just be a flower. Okay, but this is the vine, so let's climb up this vine. Oh, there's a wind star apparently. Oh, there's 2 wind stars. Wrong one. Okay. Oh! S-legs. Okay, let's get rid of all of these guys. Why are there so many? Okay. So where were we supposed to go? Because I thought we were supposed to go here. But then this suggests that we weren't. Where are we meant to be going? Can we reach it? No. But we might teleport back to the top now. Okay, let's try that again. How do we get to that second whip star? It's like down here, right? Let's see if we can land on here so that we can refresh our, like... I want to call it stamina, but that's the wrong word because you can only hover for like so long before you fall. However, if we stop hovering, that might reset us. There we go. Oh, but this hasn't helped at all. We're supposed to be climbing the vine, but we did, and it didn't help. Did we climb too high? Oh, it's here! A pot! it is, the third clay pot. Nikki opened the clay pot to see what the fairies discovered. It was then the fairies finally realised. It was no vine at all, instead it was the arm of a titan! Turned out the talking tree in the legend was the last titan in the forest. She loved the forest so much, she chose to stay when all her friends left. She watched the sun crawl over the branches in the mornings and sank into the lake at dusk. She watched the stars lit up one by one. Time slowly passed. Green vines crawled up her shoulders, flowers bloomed in her hair, moss gently covered her arms. She became like a sturdy tree blending into the forest. Titan lowered her head and said to the fairies, "It was your song that brought me to you." It was the purest, most touching melody she had ever heard. It was friendly, warm, and spirited, so she couldn't help but hum along, guiding the fairies, inviting them to her side. From then on, the fairies sat on her broad shoulders and lay in her thick palms as they listened to her beautiful fairy tales and wrote new ones themselves. The great big Titan and the tiny little fairies became good friends who shared their love for the forest and a life of promise, of happiness, protecting the forest together ever after. Congratulations on finding this place, smart and brave little fairies. Time has flown by and we've shared so many fairy tales here already. Every night we sit shoulder to shoulder. I know about how warm and beautiful our own story is. Isn't it just like the fairy tale? It deserves to be imagined, written down, and remembered. This isn't the end yet, because our story hasn't ended. This time I want to invite you to write its ending together. I wonder at what time will you find this place. Perhaps it will be dawn or perhaps dusk. Either way, I'm in no hurry, because the white clouds, the red leaves, and the black rocks will be waiting for you patiently. Whatever the moment, they will always be at their most beautiful. What makes nature so amazing is its respect for time and its love for everything. Thanks to you, I realize that. Love your friend, Ritalli. I get that. I get it. This isn't just a fairy tale, it's an adventure game. Remember, Little Red Riding Hood mentioned that Ritalli was friends with the Shroomlings. Right, is that why the treasure map, unlike the Titan's other things, is small enough for Shroomlings to read? Yeah, using a fairy tale as clues to guide Shroomlings here, I think this was a game Ritalli designed just for them. I see, but why are the pots still here? Maybe Ritalli's Shroomling friends never found them before she... Or maybe they already finished the game. Maybe they once admired the views together, shared fairy tales, spent a wonderful day here, and then chose to leave everything as it was, placing the map and pieces back into the forest. That way, other lucky creatures could join their game too. They could follow the story and see the white clouds, red leaves, and dark rocks just like we did. Not just Shroomlings, anyone who loves fairy tales and cherishes the forest, we're all players invited by Ritalli. As long as someone enters this forest and wonders about the story, it will never truly end. That's beautiful. Let's go tell Chagaga and Chiaga. They'll never guess that what the treasure map really pointed to. We did it, the treasure map was a success. Let's go tell Chagaga and Chiagaga. Okay. I kind of want to see, I did see at the bottom down there, two of the like not S-lings. I would like to go and talk to them and see if they have any different dialogue now. I forget exactly where they are. They're somewhere down here. They're here. It's Snow White. Well, white snow. I spent so long caring for the wounded forest, concocting medicine for fainted loptail peekers, or guiding lost shoal deer back home. Here came my life. With the corruption finally losing its grip, new sprouts can finally breathe again. It's only a matter of time before the birds come back to sing, just like the fairy tales promised. I still wonder, why did the miasma appear in the first place? Are there more creatures suffering out there? Will the darkness on the sand ever give way to light? White snow, perhaps the answers aren't meant to be chased. We just keep doing what we can for those in need, and the truth will one day stand before us. You're right, maybe saving everyone is too much to ask, but holding one trembling paw and guiding one fragile leaf would still mean everything to me. It's the beginning of my journey, and I know in my heart my mother and the forest are with me every step of the way. What about you, Magic Mirror? Do you have anything to say? No. But there were a couple more down this way. Like the rebellious girl and the obedient boy. Are you gonna talk to me? Uh-oh. Oh, what am I gonna do? I tried to ask the rebellious girl to come with me, but she shut me down so fast. Now everyone has these big dreams, and I'm just here with zero clue what I'm doing. What exactly did you say to her? I just went up to her and said, hey, since we've always hung out, let's go on a big trip together. I barely finished my sentence when she snapped at me, hands on her hips and all. She had brought up how I felt to take her side that time she got into a spat with the first little pig. I mean, I didn't think getting fruit ornaments nibbled off your clothes was a big deal. She also complained about me giving up my seat to the well-remains at Mr. Rabbit's tea party, wasting her effort standing up for me, and then there was this other time. She was basically done with you? Yeah, she said she was going to be a lone wolf from then on and take on the world solo. She didn't need a clumsy liability like me dragging her down. Advice. It's okay, we can brainstorm some ideas for you. What are you good at? My mom created me to be a peacemaker to settle fights and stuff, so I've always been pretty good at it. And how about becoming a mayor's secretary? You could settle disputes. Mayor Grace and Flourish could really use a hard worker like you, especially one who never needs to eat or sleep. That actually sounds like fun. Or you could try something totally new. Fishing, weaving, acting, tailoring. There are lots of cool stuff to do. Right, you've got a point there, too. So what's the plan? I mean, you're right, and Mama's right, you're both right. What about you? What infuriating piece of advice? What happened? You're like you're about to explode. The agreeable guy gave me a book called How to Fit In, but look at the garbage. Why should I stay silent when people are being unfair, unreasonable, or just plain wrong? Those are the moments you need to speak up, push back, fight. That's a powerful speech, but honestly, the truth can be a bit hard to swallow, and a lot of people just don't want to hear it. And their ears might be pretty fragile. Rebellion is a gift from my mother, and I'm never letting go of it. Once I've made these red shoes and hitting the road, I'm going to make the world outside this forest hear what I have to say. Ah, she is strong. Oh, and then there's these guys. Hello. This fashion magazine of Flourish is making me even more nervous. What if we don't fit in, Nikki? Look at us. We look so much like this Esslings. What if we spook the neighbours? I guess people are just afraid of what they don't understand, but as long as you keep the conversation going, we'll reach them eventually. I bet the folks in Flourish will be dying to see your weaving skills. Look, if you're really that scared, you can wear my old hoodie. I'm not hiding though. Like Nikki said, I'm going to let my weaving do the talking. Seriously, that old hoodie, the edges were all frayed, and that colour was so last season. At least let me patch it up for you. We can't have you looking like a mess out there. Wow, talk about ungrateful. I was just trying to help. No, that's not what I meant. 3 garments done. 1 technique's mastered. Foreign styles integrated. I have learned well. Ready to depart at a moment's notice. Oh, these guys are so fun. What were we doing? Oh, we have to go tell the others. Okay, let's go and back to the entrance so we can tell them that we found the answer. We found the solution to the treasure hunt. I don't know why I said that like it was a big mystery. I mean, it was a little bit of a mystery, but it wasn't like a massive mystery. It was just like a, you know, like a medium-sized mystery. Not too big, not too small. Went to a couple of places. It was very wholesome. So let's go and tell them this. It should just be just around the corner. Hello! Your Excellency, you meowliness, you're back. Are you okay? We're fine, we found the treasure. It's a fairy tale really left behind about her and the shroomlings. Nikki recounted everything that happened. Wow, I never knew we shroomlings had such a good friend. From today on, I've got a new friend. No, an old friend. After gossiping for years, turns out the story was about us all along. Your Excellency, can I share this story with the others? I love it, and I think they will too. Of course, Ritalli designed this game for her shroomling friends. If you found the map, I learned the story. If you found the map, learned the story, and shared it with everyone, she'd be very happy. When the Mayasa fades and your body's unaffected anymore, you can all go see that high place together. See the vast sky and the giant trees. See the stories from long, long ago. Yeah, even after 1,000 years, some things never change, like this forest scenery and the bond between Ritalli and the shroomlings. That was very wholesome. Okay, so that's done now. Oh, and we've got one of these as well. Okay. What is this? Ooh, that actually might be the quest we need to do for this other thing. Because, like, we're whizzing through these quests. Shall we do this? Because I think it says to do this reach path of practice. I think that's what it wants us to do. Oh, it must be one of the... I see. I bet it's like the 4th thing. So this one wants to do this quest. But what quest is that? Oh no, we meant to find Marlene! We have to find Marlene. We told this guy we were going to find Marlene, and then we didn't find Marlene. We gotta go find Marlene. Who are you guys? How do you plan to explore the Colosseum? Shran, the Lostless, wouldn't let adventurers enter the Colosseum for so long, but now we finally have a chance. Be careful, the place still hasn't been fully mapped out. Don't worry about me, just wait for me to bring back the treasures of the Lost Titan civilization. Okay, we're gonna find Marlene for you, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm gonna go find Marlene. I forgot we said we were gonna find Marlene. I was about to go and start building things with the shroomlings, but we didn't find Marlene. Okay, so I think this is where we saw the oil patch, maybe? Ah, I see them at the bottom of this hill. So, we gotta go investigate that. Why are you not? Hello? There we go. Yes, oil patch. Okay, so let's go this way. They're surrounded by Esslings, Nikki, look out! Asylus, we're saved! Who are you? We're saved. I never realized the Esslings here was so tough. I can't imagine what would have happened if you hadn't shown up. I'm Marlene, a rookie stylist. I'm so happy to see a kind senior stylist out there. And you, little kitty, and you are? It's wonderful, Miss Marlene. I'm so glad we found you. Huh? Did you come out here looking for me? We went to Misty Forest yesterday and never came out. Miss Lenoir was worried sick about you, so he reached out to me for help. Dad, it's all my fault. He must have been so worried I was careless and wandered too deep into the forest, which is why I stirred up so many Esslings. Luckily, I ran into Volvava. She showed me a path out and helped me avoid a lot of Esslings along the way. I never thought I'd meet a shroomling elder who knows Misty Forest so well. Hello there, Volvava. A human stylist? No, it's not you, but thank you, kind child. Huh? Have we met? No, I was mistaken. My memory isn't what it used to be. Volvava was like this when she first met me too. It seems she's been looking for a human adventurer, so... Nikki, no time to chat now. It looks like more Esslings are coming this way. Right, it's all dangerous here. Let's go get out first and find a safe place to talk. Volvava, are you alright? Volvava, don't worry. Once we leave this place, I'll help you find the person you're waiting for. Okay, I'll go with you. Achievement unlocked. Kaiko's and the epithet of Oathbreaker. No! No, I didn't! I didn't! I didn't break my oath! That's not what happened. I went to find Marlene! Eventually. I almost didn't, but I did. Where is Marlene though? Yeah, this. Okay. Oh, go back out to the front. Okay. I wonder if he's looking for a dad. That would be convenient. That would be quite fitting, wouldn't it? Might also explain, depending on how similar she looks to her dad, why the shroomling got her confused. Phew, the air outside is so much fresher. I guess I was really lucky this time. I got lost in the forest, but I met the legendary luminous envoy. Then I got surrounded by Esslings, and Nikki showed up like a hero. I was lucky, but also not so lucky. Thanks to you, I was able to bring back the freshest thorn fruit. Now the lanterns at the harbour can be fixed for good, and Dad won't have to worry anymore. Luminous envoy? Thorn fruit? Yep, the whole reason I came to Misty Forest was to pick thorn fruit. Lanterns at the harbour kept breaking after being fixed. I read in an old book that thorn fruit from Misty Forest are the best material for repairing them. I had no idea the forest was so big, it was hard to find anything in the thick fog, and I got lost, but then the Luminous Envoy appeared. Do you mean the Luminous Envoy is real? What do they look like? Strange, we didn't see anyone on our way here. When we arrived, we only saw a light in the bushes, Marlene and Volvava. We saw a light in the bushes. We followed the trail of glowing lamp oil on the bushes to find Marlene and Volvava. You can see it clearly even in the dense fog, a normal lantern wouldn't be able to do that. Could the lamp oil have been the guidance left by the Luminous Envoy? According to the lore, the Luminous Envoy appears silently in the dark, mist using a starlight golden glow to guide lost travellers, wordless yet warm. At first, I followed the golden glow and saw the lamp oil dripped here and there on the ground. It was a bit confused. Then I worked up the courage to follow it and saw the source of the light. It was clearly a small golden lantern, and the one carrying the little lantern was Volvava. The Luminous Envoy people talk about is actually Volvava's lantern? Maybe it's Volvava herself. As Volvava, and found out she often comes to Misty Forest and knows the path by heart. Whenever she encounters lost travellers, she guides them in the right direction. Oh, I get it. Volvava is a good shroomling who does good deeds without seeking recognition. Me? No, I don't know about these stories. I was just waiting for her. Every time I thought it was her, only to find out it was just some lost adventurers. Sometimes if I spoke up, the poor children would get terrified and run even further away. In a dark and unfamiliar place, perhaps they need and trust a silent, warm light more than a complete stranger. When I stopped talking, the children would follow my little lantern and let me guide them out. I see. So over time, this led to a beautiful misunderstanding, and people thought the light came from a kind, luminous envoy. This is an amazing discovery. I'll have to tell everyone in the Eldered Forest that I found the real envoy. But Volvava is the one you've been waiting for in Misty Forest? She left a long time ago, but she'll come back someday. When I met Volvava, she seemed to have forgotten a great deal. She kept asking me if I knew the whereabouts of a human adventurer, but aside from knowing she was a woman, Volvava couldn't remember her name or what she looked like. How could you forget the name and face of someone so important to you? Perhaps I'm simply too old. I once thought I would remember her forever and ever. I remember she left one morning. That day I carved her name on the trunk of a sapling. After that, every day I would walk the path we once walked together by the river and in the forest. I thought I would never forget her, but by the time the sapling's branches grew to block out the sky, the name had become mere wrinkles in its bark. As my own body grew heavy with age, her face too began to fade. A sapling growing into a towering tree and a kid becoming an elder, just how much time has passed? Are you still waiting for her? Because she said she would, she promised she'd come back to see me. The echoes of her voice calling my name, making that promise to me, I haven't forgotten them for a single moment. She must have meant the world to you, Bolvava. You're so devoted, so thoughtful, and so gentle. Yeah, and the way Bolvava talks is different from the other shroomlings we've met. Perhaps it's because I grew up by her side when I was little. When you learn and grow up alongside a human, you pick up their habits, you gradually become more like them. In that case, Bolvava, why did you come to the forest? Why did you wait for her in the Misty Forest? It was there that I first met her. She emerged from the mist, drove away the monsters reeking of dark essence, and held me when I was small. She whispered in my ear, "Don't be afraid, child, I'll be with you from now on." That's why I kept coming back to the Misty Forest after that. I don't remember, but this place must be very important to us. Did she leave the glowing lantern for you? She made me this little lantern with her own hands. When she gave it to me, she told me as long as it was lit, she would always be able to find me in the forest. An ordinary lantern couldn't possibly burn for so many years without going out, nor could its light pierce through the mist. This must be a special kind of Wimtech. Bolvava, if she made the lantern herself, this person you're looking for might be a stylist. It's okay if you don't remember her. Let's take the lantern and ask some human adventurers outside. Such a unique Wimtech might give us some clues. That's a great idea. Anything created by a stylist will leave a clue, or at least an impression on the world. You can start by asking at the nearest great exploration camp. With so many people coming and going, it's probably the best place to get information. I trust you, Nikki. There's something about you that's very much like her. But Miss Marlene? Nikki, I should head back to the harbour first to let Dad know I'm safe. I was thinking the same thing. If you find anything, we'll come to the harbour and let you know. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Oh, quite a way this way. Oh, a really long way this way. To try and, like, see if anyone knows who made Bolvava this lantern. I was gonna guess it was Ritalli, but I think this quest is completely unrelated, so it wouldn't be about Ritalli, because she's, for all the event quests, it's about her. But this is not an event quest. It could be anybody. Maybe it's Nikki from however many years ago when she was on that pot. Who knows? Well, I'm sure we're about to find out. What mystery? Let's see. Where are we? Elderwood Wolf. Okay. Let's go down here. Ooh, chest. There are a lot of people here. Oh, orbs! Okay, there are almost too many people. I'm kind of scared to talk to them. Orbs. There we go. Bolvava. What's the plan, Bolvava? Seniors, I'm about to start my first expedition to Eldwood Forest. How should I plan my route? Make sure you bring lots of food. You never know how long you'll be wandering the forest. Last time well, let's just say so. Alright, Senior, I remember that. How should I choose my route? How about we grab some food together? We can eat while I tell you. That time I ate was especially... Alas, I understand why another senior said nothing. Oh wait, no! I was meant to be talking to Bolvava. Is this where humans live? I feel like I've been here before, but... Are you remembering something? I see a hazy figure speaking in my mind. It says one day a little lantern will light this forest and the nights beneath the mist will be peaceful and still. One day people will no longer have to fear the dark. I'm sorry, I feel a little dizzy. Please rest here for a bit, don't push yourself. Leave the clue hunting to me and Momo. You can count on Nikki and me. I'm sorry, my memory's getting worse and worse. Often I feel like everything from the past has been swept away by the tide. I try my best to look back, but all I see is a vast empty sea. The sunlight here is very warm as her hands when she held me. Here I felt her embrace again. I really wish I could hug her one more time. She handed the little lantern to Nikki. Ooh. I'm sorry, my memory's getting worse. Thank you for being willing to help an old shooting like me, Nikki. I hope the people at the camp really do have news of her. Okay. What's this? The old seekers mysteriously disappeared, all equipment abandoned at camp. Recently, while conducting field research in Eldwood Forest, botanist Mr. A discovered several tattered tents and long abandoned campfires deep within the forest. From the tents, scattered expedition gear suggested the owners had left in a hurry. Among the mouldy backpacks and weather notebooks, traces of an identified powder were also found. Alarmed by the state of the campsite, Mr. A immediately reported the findings to the main adventurer camp. Through the recovered items, the rescue team confirmed the equipment belonged to the Gold Seekers, which went missing in this area 3 years ago. According to the eyewitnesses' accounts from local shroomlings, the Gold Seekers had celebrated a week before the disappearance on Shell Island, claiming they were about to rewrite the history of a treasure hunting. Some adventurers speculate the team may have had close ties to the notorious treasure-thieving gang that vanished around the same time. 3 years ago, a rare and exquisitely carved artifact surfaced on the dark market and was ultimately purchased for a staggering sum. Rumour has it, the artifact was unearthed at the Titan's Workshop ruins in Insuland. The legend of the Giant's treasure sparked a huge surge of treasure-seeking, drawing countless outsiders deep into Eldwood Forest and coinciding with numerous mysterious experiences. To ensure the safety of residents and the preservation of the site, the Terror Alliance has repeatedly issued warnings prohibiting unauthorized exploration. As of this report, the Gold Seekers remain missing. We solemnly remind all visitors to cherish the beauty of nature, remain respectful and cautious, avoid restricted areas, and refrain from unauthorized adventures. Ooh, mysterious. Okay. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but this always amuses me. You can jump on their heads. It's so fun. Boing. Oh dear. I do feel a little bit mean that we just did that, but it worked. Okay, and what's this book? Some stack of crumpled paper. A crumpled stack of letters seemingly never sent by whoever wrote them. Dear Ryan, my confidant, my old friend, I miss you greatly here in the Terror Alliance. Every night when I crawl into my worn-out inflatable sleeping bag, I sigh along with it. I look at the inflatable sleeping bag. Interesting. I look at the flickering lantern in the corner of my tent, and it mirrors my tear-filled eyes. I feel lonely, frustrated, and money slips away too quickly. I'm on the verge of bankruptcy. I wish I could just fly straight into Mothershroom Woods, carried by anti-gravity into the air. Yet in these sleepless nights, I recall the bold promises and dreams I once shared with you. This is the fabled land of gold. If I persevere, I won't return home empty-handed. So, would you lend me another 1,500 blings this month? This isn't for wasting frivolous things, it's all necessary for my adventure. Once I uncover the treasure of the Titan civilization, I'll repay you immediately, along with the 5,732 blings I owe you from before. Please, I'm begging you. Yours, Jimmy. Professor Brother, long time no writes. I hope all is well in Shrift Inwards. Thanks to your help, I've safely reached the Terror Alliance. The scenery here is beautiful, yet I'm deeply troubled. I underestimated the cost of this adventure, and now wail daily like a lost behemoth cub separated from its family. After many restless nights, I finally resolved to write this letter. Please help me sell the old books in the cupboard. If possible, I'd also like to borrow some additional funds. Once I have all the necessary equipment and complete my adventure successfully, I'll sit down to write articles for Adventures Monthly and Hot Blooded Fantasy. Oh, wishing one, I won't turn my back on my word. Your brother Jimmy. I owe you. I owe the Arini General Store 7,630 blinks to be repaid in full within the 1,002A. W. Debtor Jimmy. Also borrowing 1 fountain pen and 2 postage stamps. Achievement unlock Kaiko has earned the title of Shriveling Bully! No! Though that one is a bit deserved. But no! No! Hello, please wait a moment. Oh, hello there. This may be a bit forward of me, but I'd like to ask, is that lantern in your hand for sale? Have you seen this lantern before? Do you know who its maker is? I'm not really sure about that. I'm a slice and I like to collect all sorts of rare room tech. Things here aren't very advanced, but they're quite novel, so I thought I'd bring some back as toys for my child. Take that little lantern you hold, for example. The materials and craftsmanship are truly ingenious. If I'm not mistaken, it could stay lit forever, right? That's right, it's very important to us. I'm afraid it's not for sale. No problem, it was a bit bold of me to ask, so you're trying to find the fellows who made it? Do you have any leads? I wouldn't call it a lead, but now I take a second look, it does seem a little familiar. Let me think. Oh, before coming to Eldwood Forest, I read some books about this place at home to prepare for my expedition. An obscure nautical magazine mentions some historical maritime signal lanterns, you know, that look quite similar to this one. Maritime signal lanterns? Yes, it said they were a popular type of lantern in the Eldwood Forest seas, decades ago, but later, for some reason, people stopped using them. The items recorded in the magazine are nothing more than antiques now. When I skimmed at it, I just remember it for its unique design. I don't know anything else. Thinking about it now is a real shame. Besides, you could make a lantern like this must have been very talented. Thank you, that's very helpful. You're welcome. If you find any other interesting little gadgets, be sure to come find me. Okay, I was hoping he would tell me something else. Like just, you know, because he's a guy in the woods. But maybe not. Oh, That second one was an accident. I did not intend to do that. The first one wasn't, but the second one was. Come on. Here we go. Hello. Oh, you're here to visit the Watchtower. I'm Sky, a new member of the Heartcraft Kingdom Expedition team. My main job is to help observe and record the surroundings. Sounds like a very important job. How do you monitor things exactly? The Watchtower's main role is to monitor nearby conditions, tracking behemoth movements, weather changes, and everything else that might threaten the expedition team. Although the forest is full of dangers, especially large behemoths that can suddenly expand their range of activity, we have to stay alert at all times. By gathering information about the Watchtower, we can plan safer routes ahead of time and avoid accidents as much as possible to keep adventurers safe. Can you tell me more about yourself? Me? Honestly, I'm still just a trainee adventurer, but my partner's different. She's incredibly brave and always charges ahead. She's so decisive, while I can't help but think about every possible risk, sometimes even hesitating too much. That's exactly why I want to make full use of the Watchtower. Here, I can spot dangers early and warn my friends. Observation and recordings are the first steps of any expedition, don't you know? Oh, don't you agree? Goodbye. Thanks for explaining these things to me. I'll go take a look elsewhere now. Thank you for visiting. If I have questions, come find me anytime. I hope your expedition always goes smoothly. It's true! The second time I just fell off. What do you say? Camp's getting more crowded and noisy. I'm thinking of moving higher up for some peace. Perfect, I've got a shroom more map. We can use it to guide our way. No, I don't use that. Last time I used it to find water, it led me to a behemoth den. That time I escaped, I was thirstier than ever. Really? Maybe we should test it out first. Sticks are light and useful, not only for dirt, but also for fire. But to fight behemoths, you use spears. Have you noticed? Every shroomling and spear carries one. Sticks are better. They're everywhere. They're super easy to find. When you walk around with a spear, it's all heavy, clunky, and ugly. Spears are better. They're proper weapons. If you can't even handle a spear, how can you call yourself an adventurer? Sticks! Spears! Who are you? Hello, adventurer. Want to check out my little shop? This adventure outfits I designed are sure to be a great help in your adventures. Yes, I would like to check out your shop. Ah, it's a hat! Although my leg entry can be an adventure, I've collected plenty of first-hand stories from adventures over the years to guarantee the quality of my adventuring outfits. Please rest assured. Well, I want this hat. And there's rucksack. And also these boots. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Fitz. And who are you? Wow, Senior, it's so dark here. I'm scared. I want to go home. I want my mummy. Okay, don't be afraid. Senior, how have you been exploring for many years? Don't you ever want to go home? Yes, but the whole world is my home. Let me see, can I reach that? Yes. Can I reach the third one? Yes, I can. Okay. And who are you? Hey, shiny friend, I heard you've encountered a lot of behemoths on your expeditions, right? That's right, I'm a real adventuring shroomling. And may I ask if you've noticed any of the behemoth's unique habits? Every time I see one, I faint for fright, so nope. What a coincidence, me too. Iconic. What do you say? What's on your mind? I've been thinking back to the Veiled Princess dance. The moves are mysterious and powerful, like the pulse of the desert. I can't believe I got to see such a beautiful show just for 15,000 blings. It was so worth it, I want to go again. Is it the Veiled Princess from the Silver Veil Dancers? I didn't know the dancers were on tour in Elderwood Forest. It is the Veiled Princess performing solo. The show is at the Adventures Camp near the volcano currently. Want to go? I'll pass. The volcano isn't in my hiking route. I've seen them perform before anyway. I'll wait for the next one. That makes sense. I've seen the Silver Veil Dancers before too, but I don't remember seeing anything this unusual in their routine. Oh, that's a quest. No! Okay, we're not going to do that one. We already went on one tangent. Oh, you've never heard of the Luminous Envoy? I just got here, so what is it anyway? They're divine descendants who help travelers lost in Misty Forest. That forest is said to be cursed by dark creatures traveling thick fog all year round. But if you do good deeds, the gods will look kindly upon you and send one of their descendants, the Luminous Envoy, to show you the way. For real? Do good deeds? A descendant? Have you seen one? Well, no. The senior adventurers who've been to Misty Forest all swear the Luminous Envoy exists. Excuse me, my name is Nikki. I was wondering if you've seen this little lantern or one of a similar design. We're looking for its maker. Huh, I can't really recall. The design's quite unique, but none of the adventurers have ever used one, I can tell you that much. Huh? Is that kind of lantern rare? I saw one that looked just like it next to an old house. Could you tell us where you saw it? This is very important to us. Any clue would be of great help. was over by the harbour. There's a tiny house there. I heard it's been abandoned for a long time. I was looking for pretty shells on the beach at the harbour to make some stand-style trinkets and earn some money. Ended up digging up a little lantern from a pile of sand near the old house. It was badly damaged, but you could tell it belonged to an adventurer. Of course, I couldn't just take someone else's things, so I quickly buried it again. That's fine at first, but there's something a little weird about burying it again. When I think about it, I've kind of forgotten exactly where I buried it. Why don't you go look around over there? Thank you so much. No problem, the lantern was pretty bashed up. I was just guessing what it might have looked like. It can't be sure it's the same one you have. Well, I'm begging you to stop running off without telling anyone. What if something bad happens? I know, but I ended up helping someone this time, didn't I? Just think of it as me doing a good deed, and please don't tell the captain. Okay, Bolvava, we have a plan. Nikki handed the lantern back to Bolvava. Well, we don't have a clear answer yet. We maybe possibly have a vague direction. I'm very confident, are you, Nikki? It's alright, a long time has passed to everyone, but I'm still very happy you brought me here, Nikki. The longer I stay here, the clearer her image becomes in my mind. Now let's go over the information we just heard. Maybe it'll help you remember more. Decades ago, a type of maritime signal lantern was popular in the Eldwood Forest Seas. I told Bolvava about the history of the maritime signal lanterns. I don't use this kind of lantern anymore. I don't know why, but I feel an incredible sadness. However, what that human adventurer said about a toy reminded me that she also made me flower crowns, little grass ferns, wooden wind chimes, and many, many things for our home. I placed the flower crown on my head, my gaze was distant and filled with nostalgia. Back then I didn't understand the emotions behind that look. An adventurer saw a lantern similar to this one near the old house across from the camp, but it was damaged. Talking about the similar lantern. Bolvava, do you remember anything else about the little lantern? Did the adventurer make any others? The lantern, she poured her heart and soul into it. She tried so many times, one lantern, then two. She would often wait late into the night for them. But she wanted to see a light that would never go out, so we journeyed deep into the forest together, stepping barefoot through the moonlight on the waves and climbed to the highest peaks. Or just find new materials for the wake that she'd never tried before. She held my hand, clutching my shroom cap to her chest, and even though the sharp-toothed leaves left her covered in scratches after bringing the materials back to our home, she would work day and night again. Your home? Yes, when I was little, she and I both lived in Misty Forest. I remember now, we lived together in Misty Forest once. Is it Misty Forest very dangerous? Back then, it seemed I was unwilling to leave. Perhaps it was because I had been in the forest for as long as I could remember, and I didn't know what the outside world was like. For a child facing a vast, completely unfamiliar world must be frightening and confusing. I whined and refused to leave. She didn't force me, instead she stayed with me, even though Misty Forest was very unfamiliar to a human. She would often comfort me, saying danger wasn't all the forest was. It was a profound place, with surprises hidden among its countless unknowns. Later, I grew up a little by her side. I felt more courage. We left the forest, avoided the behemoths, we saw the beautiful sea together, and we built a small house. A home? A home by the sea? Oh, she's going to the harbour. We gotta go to the harbour. Bolvava! Whoa, Nikki, let's catch up to her.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to see me play live, then check out my Twitch channel. You can find me on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 PM GMT. Thanks again, and have a great day.